Good evening and thank you for joining us here at 5. I am Audrey Maneshny. We began in Broome County where two Binghamton teenagers have pled guilty to weapons charges. According to District Attorney Paul Battisti, 19-year-old Lamont Weaver and an unnamed 18-year-old offender have both pled guilty to criminal possession of a weapon. Weaver's charges stem from a shooting that occurred in April where he fired multiple gunshots at a person on Susquehanna Street. He is expected to receive a sentence of up to 8 years in state prison. The unnamed offender's charges stem from a verbal dispute which ended in him firing multiple gunshots at a residence of Catherine Street. He will be sentenced to 6 years in state prison on January 7th.